For the Module 5, Lesson 5 application problem, we're going to look at the beginnings of equivalent fractions. And when we talk about equivalent fractions, what we essentially mean is when we have two amounts that are equivalent in their total value. So let's read this problem. It says a loaf of bread was cut into 6 equal slices. Each of the 6 slices was then cut in half to make thinner slices for sandwiches. Mr. Beach used 4 slices. His daughter said, "Wow, you used 2/6 of the loaf." His son said, "No, he used 4/12. Explain who was correct using a tape diagram." So initially, I'm going to draw a tape diagram and cut it into 6 relatively even slices. At that point, what I'm going to do is I'm also going to cut it in half. From this point, I have these columns as well as these individual smaller squares. And Mr. Beach used 4 total slices. So I'm going to color this in. Now, in this situation, if I looked at it from the top, we would recognize this as 1, 2, 6th. Because it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the way we originally had it. So technically, his daughter was right, 2/6. But if I also looked at it when it was cut in half as 4/12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, it's also 4/12. And in this situation, what we learn is if I hadn't cut it in half, it would still remain 2/6. But when I cut it in half, the amount of bread used was not changed at all. But the value of the denominator was increased because I cut it into smaller pieces, increasing the number of total slices. So in actuality, we would find that both his daughter and his son were both correct because 2/6 equals 4/12, making both the son and daughter correct.